Scott Russell from the Herefordshire Football Association, and we've got a few colleagues from the other county FAs as well. And this is the Kickstart Your Energy Saving Journey, which is the Greener Game kind of initiative, which is supported by E.ON. So Vicky will be in charge of the slides tonight. So Vicky, if you want to just flick on to the next one. Just a very quick bit of housekeeping. If you could make sure, first of all, that you're all on mute, so that we don't have any background noises. Again, ideally for this next hour, we ask if you keep your mobile phones off or on silent. If you do have to take a phone call, that's absolutely fine. But if we can get you focused just for this 1 hour, that'd be much appreciated. Any questions? We will have a section at the end for questions. So let's see if we can just get through the workshop currently, and we will answer questions later on. Okay, we're aware of it's an evening for everybody, and a lot of you have been working all day, so we'll try and get this as close to 45 minutes, and then with the questions at the end of it. Okay, so if we're fizzing through, don't worry, there is time for you to interact at the end of it. Okay, next one please, Vicky. Okay, just a brief one of who's involved in this. On tonight, we've actually got Anthony Aitken, who is the energy manager for E.ON. So Anthony, thank you very much for taking some time out today to do this presentation. As well, we have Brian Taylor, who's head of energy management service delivery. Fern Whittock, who can't make it sadly tonight, UK partnership and sponsorship manager. Sam Hilton, who's the junior energy analyst, and then from an FA's point of view, we have Anna Quick, who might be jumping on a bit later, if her signal on a train will allow her to, who's the FA National Development Manager for Programmes, and then we've got Charlotte Quantrine as well, who's the FA Marketing Manager for Grassroots Football. So yeah, they're the kind of core people, and then obviously we've got the guys from the county FAs as well. I don't know, do you guys want to just quickly introduce yourself as well? Vicky, I'll let you go first if you want.
Yeah, so I'm Vicky Smith, and I'm from Staffordshire FA.
Sam?
Hi guys, I'm Sam from Birmingham County FA.
And Jack?
Even all, I'm Jack at Worcestershire FA.
And Tom? And there is Tom as well from Shropshire as well. Hello, Tom. Anyway, he's here. Okay, so we'll pass you over now to Anthony, who along with us will go through a few of the slides now about what this initiative is all about. Okay, so thanks again. Thanks for your time.
No problem. I've just actually finished his report today.
Very good, very good.
Do you want to go on to the next slide? So we started off the programme just under 2 years ago. We did 4 pilot sites, and we did some full audits on those sites to see what potential energy savings could be made on those sites. Now, the guys within mine and Brian's team are sort of ESOS lead assessors, sort of government approved energy assessors. We're normally looking at sort of rather large industrial retail sites, some sort of big energy users. We're looking at heat networks, etc. So it was quite nice to get down to a few smaller sites and look to see how we could make an impact with the sort of grassroots football, which was good. The sites have been really welcoming. Couldn't be more helpful with sort of showing us around and looking at the sites and sort of discussing what they've been doing and how we could potentially help them. A lot of the sort of easier impact projects have been around solar, which is why you've got a nice big table there of the solar savings on here. There have been some lighting projects, etc., which have been completed as well. We have looked at some air source heat pump and some decarbonisation on a couple of sites, but if anyone's ever had any air source heat pumps priced up, you'll know how sort of expensive they are, and they're also a sort of bigger energy user than just a boiler. So although they've been sort of looked at, they've not been progressed, those ones. So yeah, predominantly solar which is being installed, and as you can see on the figures on here, you know, we're saving a sort of few £1,000 a year now. We've got 6 sort of options on solar. So following an audit on the site, we'll look at the building's energy use for the year, and we'll look at whether or not you have any sort of floodlighting and things like that. So if you've got floodlighting installed, then it makes a lot of sense to have a battery on the system, because then obviously the solar is charging up through the day and then the battery is discharging at night when you're using your floodlights for your pitch. So that's why you'll see a lot of those on there do have a battery, because we're trying to minimise the impact of your floodlights there. Okay, do you want to go on the next slide? So the big part of what the greener game is, there's been a little bit of misinformation out there around sort of audits. Some of the clubs seem to be nervous when audits are mentioned. So it'd be handy if you guys could sort of dispel the myths that we're not there to sort of rank them or rate them. You know, we are just there just to try and see how much energy they're using and what we could potentially do to make an impact for them, and save them some energy, which obviously saves you some money, which you can then put back into the grassroots football and, you know, do things that you need to do rather than worrying about your energy bills. So you can see on there, November 24, the programme was launched. We did some of the pilot sites sort of early part of 2025. Then we've been out and we've done 2 rounds of audits. I think it was around about 60 or so clubs on round 1 and about 80 clubs on round 2. Now, some of those clubs weren't viable for any of the energy savings, because some are in development, some are having refurbishments, or some of the buildings were so dilapidated you probably want to rip it down and start again. But most clubs were offered something following the energy audits. Prior to our guys coming out, you'll get a free energy support pack. The energy support pack has got a load of information in it on hints and tips on energy saving. It's got an energy monitor as well, so anything you've got on a plug top, you can plug it into the energy monitor, and it's got a bit of a program on it where you can sort of put in your pence per kilowatt you're being charged from your energy user, and it will basically tell you what kilowatts you're using and how much that item of equipment is costing you. And if you do get some of those, try it on a Hoover. It's horrendous. But I've seen some of the clubs have put them on some of the beer chillers, where they've got the beer chillers are plugged in just on a plug socket, or they've used it on some of their the beer fridges or vending machines, whatever fruit machines that they've got within the buildings. There's also a timer in there as well, so you can actually put that on some of your plug-in equipment, and you can set the times up on that, so it'll automatically turn itself on and off as and when you need it. A couple of the clubs I've been back to, they've actually bought additional units because they found them quite useful. You can pick them up pretty much anywhere, sort of Screwfix or Amazon or your local electrical wholesaler. But yeah, they are quite good. Obviously, you'll be offered a free energy audit from our guys. Normally, you're looking in the thousands for one of our guys to come out to actually do an audit. So it's it's pretty good what the FA have done with regards to, you know, sort of organising all of our teams to come out, do it and give you a report off the back end of it, especially a free one. On the energy audit, we'll sort of give you an idea of all of the savings that we could potentially do on site. A lot of it is self-help for yourselves. There's some of it we could help with, and we can provide quotations if that's what's required. So there's a bit of a difference between the audits that we're doing for the county FAs and the clubs. So the county FA's report will show all of the potential measures that are able to be done on the site, and there will also be some costings on there, some high level budget costs on there, and then obviously the county FAs can make a decision as to what they want. You know, you can go off, you can use your own local contractors, you can ask us for a quotation. There's no pressure to use E.ON Next for any of the sort of measures that are noted on any of the county FA reports. That's just for your information, and hopefully it sort of provides you with an idea as to how you can make some savings on site. With the clubs, the actual sort of capex figures are not shown on the audit reports. That's because they obviously go forward to the Green Again funding panel, and then the Green Again funding panel will decide if they will make an award to the clubs, with E.ON carrying out the installations on that. But a lot, again, the same as all of the measures on there. There's a lot of stuff on there where, you know, the clubs can self-help. So most of the clubs have got like the old fluorescent fittings that could probably be upgraded to LED. Unless there's sort of a whole site which needs doing, we would probably recommend that the club just replace those as and when you get a failure. You know, I mean, the clubs could probably buy the LED fittings, you know, cheaper locally, and obviously you've got a lot of volunteers at the sites, electricians, etc., help you guys out a lot. So, you know, if there's only a few fittings, it would probably be more sensible and cost effective for you guys to do a bit of self-help with that. There's items on there, so cavity wall insulation, the roof insulation, pipe work, lagging, controls, you know, PIRs for your lighting. So there's all sorts of ideas and measures and things that we'll look at and come up with ideas for you. Some you may know about, some you may not know about, and go, oh, what's that? And, you know, want to do a bit more investigation into looking at it. I think if you go on to some of the next slides, it actually talks through what we do. I've pretty much gone through the support pack there. There's the audit we've just been through. There's a nice photo of George, one of our energy measures. So again, some of the measures that we put down on there, you've got your solar panels, smart metering, double glazing, internal and external. Just a note for everybody, we won't do pitch floodlights on this programme. Obviously, there is a floodlight programme within the FA. I think they've been looking at, they've got some partners like Abacus, etc., doing the pitch floodlighting. So although we may note on the reports that the pitch floodlighting is non-LED, the pitch floodlighting would not be funded through the Green Again programme. I think there's a link on the reports that takes you to the FA programmes that do the floodlighting. Okay, if you want to go to the next one. I think this is the video with Shepherd of them talking through how we've helped them. that going to play?
Hi guys, just sorry to interrupt you. Rick Musson, I'm going to leave now to my committee meeting. I've pinged over a text, Sam, to set up a telephone appointment. Okie dokie. Speak to you tomorrow, Sam. Thank you very much and appreciate your involvement.
Okay, Rick?
Sorry?
We'll get this sent over to you as well, so you don't miss out on the second half. All right.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Can we all see the video? Has that worked?
Yeah, I think you need to get, there's a button at the top where you've got more and you can share audio as well, I think.
Yeah. There we go.
Was at a point in time where electric bills were £2,500 a month. I can't afford that. I couldn't see how we could make some savings. The Green Again project came into play. I inquired around saving money on our electricity bills. It was a very simple process for me. I filled some forms in online, sent it back to E.ON and to the project through the FA, and then was accepted as a pilot club. The next stage was the install and what they came back with to tell us what they could do and what they couldn't do.
The FA and the contractors, they all came down here, walked us through every single step of the way. When all the work was going on, it didn't hinder anything we were doing. It's very neat, very tidy, it's compact. We are still using 121 watts of solar energy at the moment. Still got energy coming off of the panels now, even on a cloudy day. It's definitely made us cost effective, saving us about £700 to £800 a month. We had a new that helped as well. Without going through the Green Again project, I wouldn't have been able to know what tariff I was looking for and how best it would suit the club. £2,200 a month in electricity in August. That was in 2024. This August, £771. To save nearly £14,000 on a 9-month period on just your electric alone, it's got to be reinvested back into this. The difference it's made to the club has been huge in the last 12 months. Some of that money that we've saved through the Green Again project has gone towards upgrading some of the changing room facilities. We were able to change some of the bar settings.
There you go. Anything else for you?
That's it, though.
That is £350, please.
Income to the club has grown over the last 12 months purely because we were able to open longer with the upgrades in the kitchens, the longer opening hours, being able to offer more food. We are a community club. It's brought the whole community feel back to the club. Get involved with the Green Again project and you never know, you might be able to just pick up a little bit of information, just like the tariffs for me. If I had to sum up the Green Again programme, it would be easy to engage, great support and solve my problems.
There you go. One of the things they mentioned on there is obviously the tariffs from the energy providers. Obviously this is funded through E.ON Next, but there's no obligation for you to go with E.ON Next as an energy provider. There are some tariffs that E.ON Next have brought out, and there's some incentives there if you'd want to switch to them. But again, the same with your energy bills in your house. Go on your compare sites and see the best tariffs that you're going to get. One of the first clubs that we went to, they were looking at their energy bills, and they didn't know how to work out the kilowatts and their pence per kilowatt, and obviously you've got all your standing charges, etc. on your tariffs that you're getting. So the Green Again help pack sort of tries to break that down and try and sort of simplify it for you and try and make it easier. Again, that was the Shefford club there. We sort of explained to him the tariffs and what the standing charges were, and obviously they've managed to make some changes there on tariffs, and again that's helped with their savings on the site. So just that little bit of knowledge imparted as to what you can do and what you can look at, and making an impact for them. if you want to go to the next one. How to sign up. Obviously, I've not actually done this, but you can sort of scan the QR code or click the links and get onto the website. There's a few pages to fill out. There's, you know, sort of you look at the tenure of the club, how many teams, what's your energy use. Energy use is really handy for us for when we're trying to work out what the savings are. So the more information that you can provide us around your energy costs, the better. Obviously, you know, if they are higher, that, you know, we obviously want to try and make as bigger impact as we can possibly to make you some savings so you can put that money back into your club. Okay, next one. There we go. We're on to questions already. I think I've waffled through that fairly quickly.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony, for that. Like I say, it's there's a good bit of information there for everybody. But again, if you've got any questions, you know, remember you've got your county FAs staff who will help with that as well. If anything you do have, maybe you need to think about a question before. But is there anyone now at the moment that's got anything for Anthony, especially as we've got him here?
I've got a question, if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
So you mentioned about doing the audit that a couple of the pilot sites had really kind of dilapidated buildings, and so perhaps you couldn't do very much for them.
Yeah.
As a club, we're looking, well, we need to do something basically with our clubhouse because it is a little bit on the dilapidated side, but that's the plan that's in place. Would, if we got involved, would you be able to kind of come and advise us on the best way to improve our facility? We know we need a new roof, for example. So would you be able to advise us on how to do that in the best way in order to reduce our energy costs?
We're energy managers, not builders. Obviously, we'll go and audit all of the sites, regardless of the state of them anyway. We've been to quite a few where the roofs are, not in a good state. And if solar is one of the recommendations, one of the things we do look at is it a standard pitch tile roof, like you get on your house? And if it's not, one of the things that we will have to get the FA to do is to do a structural survey on the roofs. So, if we come up and it's like an old type conservatory type roof, then, we're probably not going to be able to put anything on the roof. I've been to some of the clubs, Sporting Khalsa up in Birmingham. They got some old shipping containers and they've built a roof over the top of those shipping containers. Now, one of the recommendations was to put solar on top of those changing rooms, but obviously we'd need to do a structural survey and load assessment on that site to actually see whether or not, it's strong enough to put something on there. So, yes, we'll certainly look at, the building fabric when we're there. So, we will look up in the loft spaces. We'll look for insulation. We'll look for the types of supports that are on the roof and what the roof is made of. We'll look at the fabric of the building. We've been to a couple like single skin brick buildings. One of the recommendations was to put some internal insulation panels on the inside of the brickwork to actually sort of make the building more thermally viable. We went to one of the clubs and it had a 120-year-old coal-fired boiler in there that had been converted to oil and then subsequently converted to gas. So there were some sort of big recommendations around that one because, the whole room needed building work completing. So our delivery team, so if any of the measures we recommend go through the funding panel, obviously we will say to them, look, we think there's, a number of issues there which may or may not need to be resolved. And obviously our delivery team are able to bring in, sort of specialists, so we can look at fabric works as well as, sort of electrical and energy saving works. There's a number of caveats on any of the awards that are issued by the Green Again with regards to, structures and like the asbestos is a big one at the moment. So any pre-2000 buildings, you should have asbestos surveys and an asbestos management plan in place. We've been to a few places where they know they've got asbestos, but there is no survey or plan in place. So one of those would need to be done prior to anything being done on site. So there are a few caveats around the awards, but yeah, I mean, we'll look at anything. That we've looked at some modular buildings, off-site modular buildings that are looking at going in the corner of a field where the pitch is, and we've made some recommendations around solar generation and battery going on top of the modular building. So yeah, there's all sorts. Yeah, Brian, go on. You're on mute, mate. Go on, schoolboy.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say schoolboy, school person error. Was you looking, have you already got quotes for a building, like refurbishment, like roof and walls and things like that? And was you asked somebody to sort of give you some advice on whether you're getting the right sort of?
We haven't got that far yet. We're in the planning stage at work, looking for funding sources to see what sort of budget we might possibly be able to use, and then therefore how big the project is likely to be. Things like, can we only afford a new roof, or can we afford to put an extra story on? Can we afford to build some extra changing rooms for the girls? We're in that stage.
Right, okay. Yeah, I think might have to take that one back to the Green Again panel and just see what we can do or what advice we can provide around that. I mean, we were up in, you probably are familiar with Leisure United that run the hubs and all that sort of stuff. So we're doing a piece of work with them where we're looking at their design standards and what have you to try and advise whether they're getting the right sort of, the specifications as it were.
Okay.
Yeah,
but it sounds like
there's also people on the team at work around the wider Green Again who work on a lot of the other funding programs as well.
Yeah.
So some of the clubs have talked to us about sort of CCTV and changing rooms and the mobile kitchens and the Howdens kitchens and things like that. And we've noted that back to the wider team. And obviously, you can have a conversation with Anna. And,
yeah. No, that's really helpful. Thank you. But it sounds as if we definitely should get involved and see and start the conversation.
Yeah, I think, probably your first step is get an audit done, and then we can kind of advise accordingly, produce a report, and then obviously some of the recommendations, as Tony said previously, be self-help. Some of them you'd have to pay for, and some potentially might get funded.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you.
Any other questions? You can tell it's an evening already, can't you?
Sorry, can I just ask a quick one? My name's Gary Leacombe from Kingshurst Football Club in Birmingham. Where would we stand if, so we have a 1 year rolling lease with our field. We maintain the field, the changing room, but then there's a private owned social club that we run from, which is on the ground. Would we be allowed to apply for anything for that?
Yeah, I mean, the Green Again's open to all the clubs, that sort of step 2-3 star clubs. What we would do is we'd pick that up as part of the audit anyway, obviously, and in the process that the foundation run and the FA run, they'll be looking at things like that, and there's criteria that allow for awards of works to be carried out, and one of the things they do look at is lease lengths and whether the club owns their own property. So it's just a case of, like, I think my advice to you would be try for it, and then see what comes out of the recommendations. And if you get something, yeah, great stuff. If not, then obviously we'd have to look at what other steps, remedial steps, can be taken to get something sort of towards yourselves.
Okay,
Anna's on
thank
call
you.
actually, so she might be able to answer that one a bit better than me.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right, I'm so sorry. I'm in in answer to that question, what we would suggest is speaking with the Sport and Social Club and maybe doing an application with the club as well, because it will be the leaseholder or the freeholder that we will need. So we need the security and tenure for the site to obviously make sure that any investments that we make on site are safe and kept involved in football. So we'd need to speak to the freeholder or leaseholder at that site. Does that help?
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Sorry.
Any more questions? I don't see. There's nothing in the chat.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm Marg. I'm from Milton United Football Club in Stoke-on-Trent. I filled out the audit today that Vicky sent me over. Obviously, I've submitted that now. Filled in the questions the best of my ability from what I know about our grounds and everything. But what is your timeline from you receiving that audit? When do the club find out if they've been successful or if they can be part of it, or what is sort of the timeline for that?
I'll pick that one up. So basically, what we've got to do, because there's an awful lot of audits to be done, short space of time, and obviously we've got the time windows. What we try and do is cluster the audits geographically. So it might be, you might be lucky that there might be 2 or 3 clubs in your area that go in at the same time. We can get those done pretty much straight away, within a week, maybe 2 weeks, provided all the paperwork's in place. If, however, you're a sort of outlier and we're auditing over in, say, for instance, northwest, something like that. Is that right? Side of the country? Yeah, northeast, sorry. And you're over there by yourselves, then you might have to wait till another club comes on or somebody's sort of in that area, which could take up to, I mean, generally speaking, I don't think any clubs have been waiting longer than sort of 3 to 4 weeks for an audit.
Right, yeah.
And if they are, that's an exception. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time there's really been any sort of delay is trying to organise with the volunteers on days and times to actually meet up at the clubs. So it's just trying to make diaries match up, really.
Yeah, not a problem. Great, thank you.
Any more for any more? I don't see any hands up or anything. Again, if you have any further questions that maybe you want to speak to your county FA about it, you know, feel free to do so. Other than that, I think, do we move on to the next slide?
Yep. Yeah, there's your sign up dates on there for the end of the month. Obviously, there's a number of rains which are going on. So if you don't make this one, I think we've got a few more rains coming up anyway. Obviously, get hold of the energy support pack. That's great. It's got a few bits and pieces in there for you and a lot of information. You may be able to start making some changes. Obviously, the energy audit from ourselves, and then hopefully something's awarded to you from the Greener game as well.
Right then. Again, anyone got any other questions or anything they want to inquire whilst we're here? Like I say, it's we're not trying to keep you all night. We understand a lot of you have had a long day, but like I say, you know, we'll make sure this is going to be recorded, so you'll have access to this again if there's anything you've missed. Do contact your county FA's leads on this if you have any further questions. But yeah, other than that, like I say, just be aware the deadline again is the 31st of January. So it is a quick one, but we thought it was really important to get this on today to kind of educate more clubs about what you could do. So yeah, if there's no other questions, guys, is there anything else from the county FAs or from the Eon guys to say, or? No, we all good?
I'm all good.
Yeah. In that case, then, guys, oh, go on.
Sorry, I just wanted to just point out, I'm sorry if it's been mentioned, I'm very late. We do have over £2 million to award this year, so it's definitely worth getting an application in. We do want to invest the money, and the money is there to do so. We've just got our first panel coming up at the end of this month, which we expect to get rid of £1 million, so that will still be £1 million left for this round that is open now. So please do get applications, and even if you feel like you're not sure whether you would benefit, then just get an application and just find out. It's definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Cheers, Anna. Thank you. Like I say, you've got nothing to lose by at least applying for it to see what happens. So yeah, like I say, look, thank you very much, everybody, for attending this evening. Back to this. If there's nothing else for anyone else to say, just want to wish you a happy evening, and hopefully I'll see some of you again later today. All right.
Thanks very much.
Lovely.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone.
Thank you.